What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my little Subaru-only shop here in Northern California. In today's video, it's going to be a little update video on my Whiteline sponsorship. For those of you guys who don't know, Whiteline actually selected me, this channel, and my 1998 r-sti coupe for their 2019 marketing campaign called #gripactivated. When I got home from work today, there was actually several packages on my front doorstep, and I believe these are the first parts that I'm getting from Whiteline for this sponsorship. So let's head into the shop, let's open these Whiteline packages, and let's take a look at these parts that are going to be going on this 1998 r-sti coupe. Thanks again for checking out the video, guys. I'm Luke, this is a Subaru-only show. This is my little Subaru-only shop. It's a DIY Subaru channel. It's a channel where all I do is Subaru builds and race Subaru vehicles and motorsport events. It's a DIY themed channel where I walk you guys through the steps to get your Subarus back on the road and hopefully do a little racing of your own. So thanks for checking out the video, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay guys, let's head into the shop and let's open up some of these Whiteline packages. Okay guys, as you can see here in front of me, I actually have two packages here from Whiteline, and I actually went online and I ordered all these parts over the weekend. And for those of you guys who didn't catch the first video where I introduced this sponsorship with Whiteline, Whiteline is actually offering me a 35% discount on these parts. And in addition to that, I actually had to make this purchase within 45 days of getting this sponsorship from Whiteline, and I had to make the purchase in a single order. So over the weekend, I weighed all the pluses and minuses, I looked at all the different parts that would fit this 1998 RS Coupe, and incidentally, most of the parts from 1993 all the way through 2001 will actually fit your first generation IMPREZA. So I went online to the Whiteline website, and I have to mention their website is a really nice website. You can just plug in your year, your make, and your model of your car, and they'll pull up all the products that will fit your car. So it was really easy for me to filter down to all the parts that I could use for my 1998 RS Coupe. So I basically went through their entire catalog of parts, and I have to be honest, on the first run, I think I probably put in about 95% of all the parts they make for this car. But that first cart full of parts was way too expensive, so I had to go back and eliminate some of the parts because I really couldn't afford to just buy everything that Whiteline makes for this car. So I basically weighed all my pluses and minuses, I weighed my budget, and I went ahead and selected all the Whiteline parts that I really think are going to make the biggest bang for my buck on this first round of installations. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and let's open up these packages and let's take a look at these awesome Whiteline parts. I'm going to start with this smaller package right here, and as you guys have probably already noticed, I got two packages, this smaller package and this longer box right here, and this longer package is probably going to be one of their sway bars or one of their strut tower braces. But let's start with this smaller package and let's see what we got. To be honest, I really don't remember exactly what I ordered. I just know that I went over it and back and forth, and it was like a torturous experience to have to remove things from my cart. But I did, because I had to stay within my budget. Okay, so I think you guys can see that pretty good. Get this packaging out of here, let's see what we got. What do we got here? Alright, here's the first thing I'm pulling out of the box. This is for your rear sway bar, and this is actually a custom mounting brackets for those sway bars, because the factory stamped steel brackets can actually bend or break or fracture under hard cornering conditions, and these custom billet aluminum mounting brackets for your rear sway bar are much stronger than original ones, and they're definitely not going to break under any kind of track conditions. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and open up this package right now so we can all take a closer look at how awesome these parts look. Bam! Take a look at this, guys. That thing is beautiful. That is a custom piece of carved billet aluminum that's going to replace that weak stamped steel factory bracket. And when you order one of these, you actually have to order one that matches the diameter of your rear sway bar. I'm going to be running 22mm rear sway bars, so this polygraphite bushing, I believe it's polygraphite, it might be some other kind of compound, but it's basically equivalent to polygraphite or polyurethane. This bushing is much stiffer than the factory rubber bushing, and it's got an inner diameter that's 22mm for that rear sway bar that I'll be using. So this is the first part. It's the rear sway bar mounting brackets. And man, I gotta say, these things are beautiful. Okay, and here's the second part. Bam! This part is actually for the front strut tower brace, and this is quick releases for the ends. And the way these suckers work is I can actually pop these up, and it'll allow me to remove that front strut tower brace much easier and much quicker. So these suckers don't actually add any performance advantage, they just make working on the car and removing that front strut tower brace a lot easier. And I'm stoked to have a set. Oh, what's this? A little Whiteline hashtag grip activated lanyard. Awesome. I'll definitely put this on my keychain for this car. Thank you, Whiteline. That's definitely a nice little surprise. I had no idea this was going to be in the box. I gotta say, I'm super stoked. What? Oh man, these are nice. Okay. Man, these are legit. Okay guys, this is the third product. Bam! A set of Whiteline gloves. These look like they're Kevlar gloves. If you flip them over, they actually have a grippy material on the back half. And of course they have the Whiteline logo. And then over here on the finger, it says activate more grip, which is a really clever play on words because these gloves have that grippy material on the back. So these gloves provide more grip. But of course, Whiteline and their suspension products are all about creating more grip on the highway and on the track. So I gotta give you guys props. That's super clever. I like it. And man, these are beautiful gloves. Thank you so much for sending these, guys. This is another item that I had no idea was gonna be in this package. This is a total surprise. And I gotta say, I'm super stoked on these too. This is legit. Awesome. All right, what do I got? That's 3 things. 4th thing. What's the 4th thing? Fourth thing is going to be these logos for the car. Okay, so here's a little close-up of some of these Whiteline vinyl stickers. I got some big ones, I got some medium-sized ones, I got ones that say Whiteline like that, and a whole assortment of different stickers for my 1998 RS Coupe. I can't wait to put these on the car, and it's gonna be a fun process because I always love taking the time to select that perfect spot to put a sticker on a car, especially when it's a sponsorship sticker. Adding those sponsorship stickers to any car is always a big milestone for a vehicle, and frankly, it's part of the provenance of the car, or the racing heritage and history of the car. So when I select the location for these stickers, when I put these stickers on this 1998 RS Coupe, that's gonna be the place where the sticker stays, and it's gonna add to the history of this car. Okay, so that's the 4th thing, all the logos and the stickers and the vinyl stickers. Okay, here's the 5th thing, just a little bag. That's pretty obvious. This will come in handy when I'm taking my tools to the track or whatever I need to do, just storing stuff and moving around. So I'll definitely rock the Whiteline tote bag whenever I can. Thank you guys. I didn't know that was going to be here either. That was a surprise. Okay, that was the 5th thing, and here's the 6th thing. So this is the last thing from this first smaller box. I can get rid of that box now. Don't need that anymore. Bam! Okay, this sucker. What is in this thing? I have no idea. Let's see. Okay, so this package has got a bunch of different little parts in it. The first part is actually the control arms. These are actually polyurethane bushings for my front control arms. And that's actually what they look like. I'm not going to open it out of the package because they're not going to look too impressive. But that's basically what it is. Polyurethane bushings for the front control arms. Okay, and these are actually for your transmission. These are for your transmission cross member, and they're going to help transmit that torque from your engine all the way to the rear tires. Because when that torque is applied from your engine to your transmission, and that transmission has deflection in it, some of that torque actually gets absorbed by those rubber bushings in that deflection. So if you replace those rubber bushings with polygraphite bushings for your transmission cross member and some of your other mounting locations, that will actually transmit more of that power from your engine all the way to those rear tires. And it'll make your car feel firmer and give you more positive shifts through your transmission. So that's what this part is. Okay, and this is the next part. These are actually polygraphite bushings for the rack and pinion steering unit. These will actually give you a more positive feel when you turn into corners and in general, anytime you're taking this car through the turns. Because anytime those soft bushings in your rack and pinion unit start to deflect a little bit, that's some of the movement that the wheels are trying to transmit to the steering wheel that actually gets absorbed by those rubber soft bushings. So if you can eliminate those soft rubber bushings and replace them with something stiffer like these polygraphite or polyurethane bushings, you're actually going to get more of the road feel and more of the feedback from the road that gets transmitted through that rack and pinion unit all the way up to the steering wheel. And the last thing is actually Whiteline's anti-lift caster correction kit. And the way these work is you actually bolt these onto the rear of your lower control arms, and they actually improve the suspension geometry on your Subaru. I'll actually open this sucker up so you get a better idea of what these look like too. Okay, here's what these anti-lift camber correction units look like. They're solid billet. And as you can see from the side profile, they actually have an offset center, and that's what gives it the improved caster correction angles and improved geometry. And as you can see from the top, they also label these top left and top right. And man, these are just a beautiful work of art. Okay, and time for the second package. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, you guys can probably guess this is definitely going to be either a strut tower brace or a sway bar, or maybe even both. Let's see. All Alright, what do we got here? Alright, first thing is this, guys, is a Whiteline front strut tower brace. This is actually going to improve the stiffness of the car, and it's going to make the car handle a hell of a lot better in the turns. And it actually adds more road feel back to the steering wheel. Overall, it'll just make the entire driving experience better. As will all these parts. All these parts are going to make this car a hell of a lot more fun to drive, either for daily driving to work, or for canyon runs, or at the track and at the rallycross courses. And that strut tower brace actually comes with some new hardware, some new washers, looks like. So I'll put that aside. Alright, I'm gonna open this one up, you guys. This is awesome. Guys, this are the billet aluminum end links that Whiteline puts out. Man, these things are beautiful. So these actually have those polygraphite or polyurethane bushings in them that's much, much stronger than that factory end link. So I got a full set of end links, the front ones and the rear ones. These are actually the rear end links. And like I said, man, these are gorgeous. These are legit. And that's what the front ones look like. Just a nice, beautiful, anodized chunk of billet aluminum with those polygraphite or polyurethane bushings. I think they're polyurethane, gotta say. That is gorgeous. And then it comes with all the hardware as well. All brand new hardware. Awesome. Some more Whiteline stickers. Some more stickers. All right, that works. Stoked. Set of greaseless bushings for a 22mm sway bar. Bam, that's what these look like. Greaseless is great. They actually impregnate the material with a lubricant. That way you don't have to actually apply any grease, and it won't make any squeak sounds later on down the road. Because if you get these bushings that require grease and you don't grease them, or the grease dries up, these stiffer bushings are actually notorious for making a bunch of annoying little squeak sounds every time that sway bar tweaks in there at all. Okay, this is the next part, and this is actually a sway bar. This is a front sway bar, and it's a 22mm sway bar, and it's got that silver powder coat finish on it from Whiteline. And as you guys can see, that Whiteline finish is actually a beautiful silver powder coat finish. So this is a 22mm front sway bar. And to go along with that 22mm front sway bar, I actually picked up a 22mm rear sway bar from Whiteline. And this sucker, as you can see, also has that silver powder coat finish. And I'll give you guys a close-up so you can see that silver powder coat finish is actually a beautiful, beautiful color and a beautiful finish. So that's it, guys. That's all the parts that I got from Whiteline for this sponsorship deal. I got rear sway bar, I got a front sway bar, I got rear sway bar mounts. I have the end links for the rear sway bar and the front sway bar. I have a front strut tower brace. I got the anti-lift kit, and I got a bunch of other miscellaneous bushings and hardware that are gonna make this 1998 r-sti coupe handle a hell of a lot better than it does currently, especially considering that all the rubber and all the bushings on this car are the factory OEM rubber bushings, and a lot of them are actually over 20 years old at this time. So replacing all these bushings and all these suspension components with these high quality Whiteline suspension components are actually going to make a night and day difference for the drivability and the performance of this car. So we got to give a shout out to Whiteline. Thanks again, Whiteline. Thank you guys for sending all this awesome merchandise. I really appreciate it. Thanks for sponsoring me with this 1998 r-sti coupe. Thank you for sponsoring the SubaruONLY show and the SubaruONLY channel, and by default, you're kind of sponsoring the SubaruONLY podcast as well. So thank you guys for sponsoring all these endeavors around this whole Subaru lifestyle. Thank you for sending all these parts. Thank you for sending the extra stuff like this lanyard and these awesome gloves. Thank you guys. I'm super stoked to be part of the Whiteline family, and I'm really excited to make a bunch of DIY videos installing all these awesome Whiteline parts. So I'm going to wrap it up there for today, guys. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Thanks for joining me in my little SubaruONLY shop here in Northern California. Thanks for joining me on this journey with my 1998 r-sti coupe in the World Rally Blue color while I do this swap from a 2005 WRX engine. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comments section. If you like the video, please make sure you give it a like and a thumbs up. I also want to mention that I actually create playlists for a lot of these videos that have a common theme. And if you guys think this channel or these videos would be good for any of your friends in the Subaru community, please go ahead and share the link to these videos or to this channel to some of your friends in the Subaru community. So thanks so much for joining me, guys. I'm Luke. This is the SubaruONLY show. Until next time, guys. Later!